Welcome, guys. Football enthusiast corner, as we all know. I remain your host, Zago Fausto, and on here we have Adams for the first time. Welcome, Adams, the only Arsenal fan in the house.
Thank you.
Welcome to Football enthusiast corner. Welcome, Moses, and also we have Timi. Um, let's jump straight in. This is our preview for the 2024-2025 season, the long-awaited 2024-2025 season, and this is the London side. Um, Straight in, we've seen the business done by each of the teams so far. You know, Chelsea has been more in the market than anyone else, and of course, Arsenal has only had one signing done, and I think that's the position that needs that one of the few positions that needs strengthening. Although they've not really looked into the striking department, which is the most vital of them. And if you look at how it has been from the past season, the past two seasons, I mean the one that's just ended and the one before, if they had the Haaland kind of striker, perhaps they will have a chance going head to head against City for the title. So how would you rate the business they've done so far? Um, Talking about Arsenal, most, what will you make of Arsenal's business in the transfer window?
Arsenal,
Yeah,
I think, which day was I reflecting on it? It seems relatively quiet. Um, uh, so what I would take out from that is they seem to know what they are doing. I don't think there is anybody who goes to window shop when they have. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who goes to the mall to buy anything when they already have everything they need in the house. Most of the time, they just go in the shop and, you know, against the next few months that they will need to restock. So they seem to have got everything that they need to have. And so I think it's good, fairly interesting that they didn't go to the market to buy. I mean, doing good business does not always mean buying. Not buying sometimes can be a good decision. So it
but,
is fair for them.
but like I said,
Pep said he's already, he watched their game and was scared for the new season when he
you mean
watched
their
Arsenal
game?
Bayern
You mean their
Leverkusen.
game in the preseason?
Yes, the match against Bayern Leverkusen precisely.
Yeah,
Said he was worried, and Pep used to only say something like that against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, and a few times against Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. If Pep says something like that, then he has seen something. So yeah, I don't think they needed to buy. The only thing I would have considered was the centre back pairing of Saliba and Gabriel. They need somebody that is on Saliba's level, in my opinion. But it seems Gabriel is trusted that he can do the job as well.
not to forget, Pep is a very good mind game player as a coach. He could
I
Exactly.
say
know,
that he could say that to just put you off or just to cause
but
a
he
form
said
of
it last season, and
confusion.
Arsenal actually did it. He said last season that they were going to compete, and they competed again
Is
after
he
missing out 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, that is the point. Pep will say it, so it's left for you to put in the effort without paying mind to what he said. But the main thing is he says that for him to have an opportunity to run over you, and it works for him, than it even works for the people he gives those praises to. So I don't know. You said Arsenal have done good business, but what is good business for Arsenal without considering that striking department that needs sorting out? Do you really think it's
So
good business?
Gabriel Jesus appears to be um, his fittest in how many years?
Yeah,
According to Arteta, so this is one of those preseasons that Gabriel has been fit. He didn't have any injury before the season ended. He looks fitter than he has ever been. And, there was no transfer rumors around him, whether he's going elsewhere or whether they were having issues with negotiating a contract extension. So he sorted, his mind is right there. He knows that he's the main man. So it's up to him to, reward us now for not going to the market to look for any striker. Gabriel Jesus is a striker that I would take at Chelsea today compared to what we have. So if he's fit and is ready to go, I don't think I want to buy anybody, considering they have Nketiah who can hit at least 10 goals. Yeah, especially in cup competitions. So I think they have that place covered. Kai Havertz is a very good goal scorer too. I think Havertz hits double figures last season, irrespective or regardless of all the news from we Chelsea faithfuls. Havertz hits double figures. So
Well, I
they still
still
have a
maintain,
Saka and Trossard.
I still maintain because you just mentioned Nketiah. Nketiah is leaving, most likely leaving in this transfer
Oh,
window. Yeah,
okay.
news came up about Bournemouth making an approach. So it's very likely he's leaving because he's always been about
Yeah.
getting playing time. Gabriel Jesus is not like even the not top teams, the Bournemouth, the Nottingham Forest, the Brentford, the Newcastle. I don't think he's even anything close to those kind of the kind of strikers those teams have. And himself, he has come out once to say that he is not a striker. So that is that is warning enough for us now to know that they have to go all out and get a striker because I think they are just a striker, just a signing away from getting that title they've always wanted. And what do they need? Of course, it's a striker. So
If Gabriel Jesus gives the Haaland, if Gabriel Jesus gives like 60, 70% of Haaland's goal contributions, Arsenal wins the league from what we have seen so far.
how does he
That's
stay
not
fit?
feasible. It's still not feasible.
It's
I don't
very
see Gabriel
difficult
giving out.
anyway because the only striker Man City have is Haaland. That's the only striker they have. Even though Alvarez is there, even though which other guy can play there occasionally, the only striker they have
Alvarez
to
has
get them
left.
goals is Haaland. Alvarez has left. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they have only Haaland, and they are not looking for anybody. If they have, that's what I'm saying. If Jesus can give them 70% of what Haaland gives, because the whole Arsenal squad is filled with goals. Saka double figures. Trossard, I'm not sure if he stays fit throughout the season. Kai Havertz double figures, and a few goals from midfield. Odegaard. I mean, if Gabriel Jesus gives them 70% of those goals, they are good. I mean, they are the closest to Man City right now for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah,
So if they have a striker who can finish well, I don't think there's an issue with that.
okay. Um, Adams, what do you make of your club's transfer dealings in this window? Do you think
Well,
if the season, because on Friday the season starts officially, and I think Arsenal play on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So
yes, Saturday.
if after 2 weeks of the season beginning and then the transfer window shuts, without you having a striker or having any more signings, are you that confident that you have what it takes to even replicate what you've done in the past 2 seasons or even do more?
Yes. So far, I feel Calafiori joining Arsenal is more of an attacking um, tactics to me. I don't see him as I don't see it as a defensive approach.
Okay.
We saw Calafiori in the Euro during the Euro competition. We saw how he played. We saw his performance. We saw him at Bologna last season as well.
Yeah.
We saw his contribution goals as well. So I really don't see that signing as a really defensive one. And the fact that we haven't signed the striker, well, without a striker, we had over 100 goals last season, if I'm not mistaken. Over if I think we had the highest goal Premier League goal scored in we scored the highest goal in Premier League last season. We had the highest goal scored in Premier League last season, and
Goals conceded, lesser. Um, so yeah,
okay. We had the highest goal scored in the Premier League and the least goals conceded as well. So it's not really a major worry or a major concern for me. I feel we're still coming all out to compete for the title. Definitely.
I'm about to say something. Imagine having the highest goal scored without a proper striker, and yet it wasn't enough to win the league. And then on the other hand, imagine having an out and out striker get you an extra 10 goals or even 15 to add to what your available players were able to do last season. Where do you think that leaves you?
Well, we lost the league on points and not on goal difference. Hope you know that.
But in those games where you drop points, if that special person was there to slot that goal in, if those chances were taken, even if it was 99 to 98 as a score line, it was really going to count something for something in terms of the points you're talking about. Chelsea, so far in the past 2 years since the takeover of Todd Bowley, 35 players signed. I mean, this window alone, I think they've had over 10 signings, more than two goalkeepers, if I'm not mistaken. And they are still looking to get more in. Just yesterday, they signed Pedro Neto from Wolves. Where is this club heading to with these signings? What are we looking forward to? What are we expecting from them with these signings? And not to forget, there's a rumor that came in earlier today about the possibility of Osimhen being approached by Chelsea because he has just handed in a transfer request.
The purchases they are making or the players they are buying. And it seems to be like you've given a 12-year-old teenager a PS5 console to
Play
run
Master
Master
League.
League. Yeah. So he sees this one, he buys, he sees that one, he buys. Oh, there's money to buy this player. Let me get him. Just excited. And then you have an 11 field with very good players and another 11 on the bench filled with very good players. It's understandable. They are robots. It's AI. They don't have emotions in the game, in the PS5. There's no emotion. No, you can afford to put Mbappe on the bench because you have in the same team Ronaldo, Messi, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Mbappe will not complain to you. If he complains, it's just one button on the game that you would use to have a conversation with him. But this is real life. This is not FIFA. I love the players that they've bought. I love every bit of player. They haven't bought a bad player. What I do not like is the mentality behind or the mentality of the people who are buying these players. The Chelsea fan base, first of all, is not a patient fan base. But let's even give them the grace because Chelsea fans have suffered in the last 2, 3 years. A window transfer ban, or was it two window transfer bans, and then a club sale, change of ownership, top players leaving for free because the new owners wanted an age grade market approach. So you're buying 18-year-olds, you're bringing them, it's like you're buying them and then bringing them for trial with the first team. If you think you evaluate them and then you send them back on loan to their parents, to the club you bought them from or to another club. So what I've always preached is that uh, the patience you think you cannot give Mr. A, you must be ready to give it to Mr. B. Okay, so good players, like I said, I like the players they bought, but they will need patience. It's not Master League, it's not FIFA. This is real life. They will need patience to get through a good piece of business they have overbought, and they seem to be getting it right because now they are forcing some players out, which is part of the whole business of football. But they've gotten a few things wrong. I do not think personally that Tosin Arabioyo is better than the Chalobah that was let go. I do not think so. That was my opinion before he made his debut. And so far, for what we've seen from Chelsea, it doesn't look like an upgrade. The KDH guy, decent player to replace Gallagher with, fair enough. The young Barcelona striker that was bought, I mean, quality player. Nothing stops him from being part of the squad. He can be a co-palmer for us. A surprise purchase and then surprise performer. I think it's good business. They've overbought and then they've realized it, and then they are trying to cut down the players. I saw a meme on the internet. There were like 400 people on the pitch, different, 400 people, a crowd on the pitch, and somebody wrote Chelsea players warming up at halftime in a Premier League match. I was
I
like,
saw
now
I
wow.
saw that too. Since this
No,
since
but
this
you look at
whole
the players.
since this whole saga about signing everyone, there's been different things, different kind of
Yeah,
memes
as
about
in
Chelsea.
Brazilians have said it's like in the days in the Bible where, you know, God instructed the Egyptians to go and hide their male and females. The Brazilians are hiding their 2008 bonds now because Chelsea can just sign any of them they see.
It's really crazy.
But you look at, yeah, but they've bought good players. I'm not going to lie. Most teams would like to have the players that Chelsea have gotten for free. Pedro Neto is a quality player. Um, on the same wing, you have a Mudrik, you have a potential, you have Felix. On the same wing, we have a Sterling. On the opposite flank, you have a Noni Madueke, you have a Kopama who is comfortable there also, and you have a Pedro who can also still play there, Pedro Neto. And they are just fought for choices. It's a very, gone are the days where they used to say, selection headache is a good problem for a coach. Right now, it looks like a bad problem because the coach is over sport for choices. But let's see how they let go of some of the players. Not loan, sell. You can't have all the good players in the world. You cannot. It's not possible, and it's not good for the club. So they've overbought, but let's see how they slim down the squad.
Now let's imagine Kopama owning the right wing, and with the number of choices you just mentioned they have. On that side, who do you favor the most to be on the left side of the wing for Chelsea?
Yeah, it's a headache for me. I can't be doing that work for Enzo Maresca. I should go and figure it out. It's a headache for me.
I mean,
Honestly, Madueke he's the best player in the preseason, followed by Romeo Lavia. I don't like statistics, but according to stats, Madueke is the best player in the preseason. And then he seemed to be the one who Enzo has been very loud about the most. Most of the clips you're hearing him shouting Noni, Noni in training and matches. It's quite particular. It's sort of what Pep Guardiola does on the right flank of his teams. The Riyad Mahrez, the Leroy Sané's, the Lionel Messi. Those guys, they have a thing for left footers. What Ateta has done with Saka as well. So
yeah.
maybe it's what Enzo is trying to do with Noni. He's particular about that guy. So it's a difficult decision. But Palmer just returned. So it's a headache for me. Enzo is paid millions. Let him figure it out.
Timi, what do you make of the choked squad Chelsea have so far going into this season?
So I was going to answer the question the first time. I think Moses already, he already did justice to most part of what I wanted to answer. So the thing is, if you want to answer that kind of question, like it's a very, very diverse conversation. It's not what you just dive into and get like a straight answer. In the sense that when this new ownership came in, they were like, okay, the system that was being used before, of course, we were in trophies, but it was not sustainable. The last time we won, forget all the cup competition. A team that is not good enough can win a cup competition. It's only a team that is good that will win a league competition. You understand? A good team wins the championship. A mixed team can win a cup competition, either domestic or continental competition. So they were like, this system that they are using, bringing in stars, putting them on high wages, it is not sustainable. Let us do something that will be sustainable. Of course, you people will suffer, but at the long run, it would all make sense. So what did they do? They tried to ship out all the players. Most of the players that they met when they came in, they were not really good players. Let's take out Lukaku for example. Let's take out Lukaku, say Jorginho, and who else? And although they themselves, they were actually, you know, the cause for where we are presently, in the sense that had it been the mindset they were bringing, that was the way they attacked the first window, we would not have been here. But when they first came in, they gave our former manager then, Thomas Tuchel, they gave him a blank check. And the first name that came to his mind was go to City and sign a Sterling, which is not supposed to be. You could have signed better wingers then, even Premier League wingers that are better than Sterling. You could have signed them then. He did that, although nobody knew Koulibaly was going to flop because he was only 31 then. But they brought in Koulibaly, he also flopped. Aubameyang did not really play much. But he also did not do too much to at least stay for stay for more than a season that he did. You understand? So when they got the sporting directors, when those sporting directors came on board,
Yeah.
those ones are football people. The owners are not football people. They only have the money and they are business oriented, but they don't know anything about football. You understand? So when they brought the football people, those ones were able to understand the project better. That was when we started buying all these underage players. And then if you check it, if you look at the players we have presently at the club, those that you can point to that so players, they are going to stay here for a very long time, are very, very good players. Players that are very, if you talk about Sterling now, Sterling can get shipped off anytime. You understand? Chilwell is already in the news for, looking for potential buyers and things like that. All these players that are in around the transfer rumors, they are players that are not good enough. You can't tell me now that Chilwell is good enough. Sterling, not good enough. Who else? What was his name again? Yes, Gallagher was very good last season, but I'm still not going to rate him. Playing a very good team under a manager that actually played to his strength does not mean he's a good player. You understand? So Gallagher also. But if you look at, okay, for example, Kupama signed a 2-year extension today.
Making it 9 years.
Yes, before today, he had 7 years. But they added 2 years to the 7 years, making 9 years. Of course, if he's not a player of quality, you're not going to do that. And that is why I'm actually, that is why I'm actually worried for Rhys, because Rhys James is a world-class right back, but injury is denying us of that. And presently now he's on 250K per week. So if he doesn't defend that amount that he's earning in the next 2 or 3 years, they will want to ship him off, because at least the money you are earning, you will have to be able to, do justice to it. And you can't do justice to the money you are earning from the hospital bed. You have to do it on the pitch. So that is why he is also another quality player. And I also saw in the news that they want to renew Jackson's contract as well. So all these players that are very, very good, there are players that have future here. If you look at Caicedo, for example, he will be here till 2030. Enzo will be here till 2032. Lavia will be here till 2030. You understand? Kobe, for example, will be here till 2028 or 2029. So these players they have their future secured. Those are the first team players. Now, if you look at the ones that are being signed without a definite plan for them, that one is also something that is explainable in the sense that, it is a business. In as much as we, the fans, we want our clubs to win. Yes, we always want our clubs to win. But this club, to run this club on a day-to-day basis, money. That is it. And if you want to meet up to standard and you are not winning trophies at present, there has to be ways you have to go about it. That was 7 years ago. 7 years ago is a very long time. And it's not because of the masterclass of Tuchel when he came in 2021. We would not have won all those European competitions we won. You understand? So it should have been more or less like, I think we persisted with Lampard then, we would not have won the Champions League or the Super Cup or the Club World Cup. So now we would have been talking about the last trophy we won to be an FA Cup that Conte won for us in 2018, like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not as if we were doing that extremely good or something extraordinary. It was just Tuchel's genius that was making us, look unbeatable to teams. So now Tuchel is gone. We are back to where we were before he came in. So we have to find ourselves. So if we are not winning trophies, we have to do things that will at least make us stay in the conversation of the big boys, like of the other big teams.
So Adams, I want to have your prediction for the top 4 finish for the upcoming season.
Without sentiment, I feel Arsenal will win the league this coming season.
Like last season and last 2 seasons, yeah.
No, we're actually winning this season. We're winning this season.
Okay.
I'm seeing Man City coming second. And
I hope you are not mistaking Man City. You are not mixing it up. Man City and Arsenal. You are not mistaking Man City.
No, Arsenal is coming first. Arsenal is coming first.
Okay, you don't mean Man City. You actually mean Arsenal first.
Arsenal is coming first. I'm saying Arsenal is coming first.
Okay. So
Man City second. Yes. It's quite weird to say this, but I'm seeing Aston Villa coming third.
Again. Okay, third this time. Yeah, third this time because last season they finished fourth.
And Chelsea fourth.
How about Man United?
I don't know, probably somewhere around 7th, 8th. Not even seeing them making the top 6.
Okay. Mos, can we have your top 4 prediction?
In no particular order.
In a particular order.
I don't know. It's difficult to give it to Man City because I want to consider sensory adaptation. Getting used to winning it can also be detrimental sometimes. But Pep can tweak 1 or 2 things. Man City 1, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 3, and I think I just give Liverpool 4th.
Where will Chelsea finish?
The players. Chelsea closer and closer, maybe 5th position or win the FA Cup. They will win something this season, but not the Premier League. They are not close yet. I don't see Chelsea doing anything. They can do it, but no, they don't make my top 4. Those players are too many to get a result in 1 season.
That's okay. Timi, your top 4 finish predictions, rather.
Okay, so I'll pick Manchester first, and the reason why I'm picking Manchester is because they already know how to do it, and they know the challenge Arsenal is going to bring to the table. So I don't expect them to slack.
Okay.
I'm going to put Arsenal second. I think Liverpool will make third position. Then Chelsea might make fourth or fifth, depending on how they end the transfer window. Arsenal might also win the league, depending on how they end the transfer window. If Arsenal gets and Osimhen, for example, they are going to work the league. Because if you check it, they've actually addressed every single issue they have in their squad, apart from the striking department. If you don't have a striker that can get you goals, you cannot win the league. It's as simple as that. City did not score so many goals last season. That is it. But it's not about your striker. It's about your striker scoring important goals. Arsenal scored a lot of goals last season, but Haaland scored a lot of important goals for City last. That is the difference, and that is what a striker, an out-and-out striker, brings to the team. I still remember the days of the last time we won the league. We had so many out of 38 matches. We had up to 10 1-0 wins. It was Costa that was scoring most of those 1-0.
Costa, Hazard, Costa, Hazard, Costa, Hazard.
Yeah, that is what your striker does. So if Arsenal gets an Osimhen, for example, no brainer. I always say to people, they will win the league. Nothing City is going to do to stop them. If they get Osimhen, they win the league. If Chelsea get Osimhen, we get top four. If we don't, fifth at best. That is it. So,
That's a wide one.
that is
So
my
where
prediction.
did you throw away Man United?
Man United is not any close to the top six. Last season, one of the issues they had was scoring goals. They went and brought a striker that doesn't know how to score. Zaki scored just one goal. Zaki scored just one goal more than Ojlund last season. And one of the reasons why they went to bring another striker
For
was
real?
because, yes, just one.
How many goals did
13
Zex? How many
Ojlund
goals did
scored-
Zexi get?
Zeki got 14 goals last season. Ojlund had 13. So he had just one goal ahead of Ojlund last season. So you can't go and bring the striker.
Hoyland's goal was all competition. Zexi's
Yes.
goal you talked about now is just in the league.
His 13 goals was in the league.
Hoyland's goal
Yeah.
were in all competitions. But Zexi's goal you just mentioned, 14,
Yes, I was
was
talking
just in the
about
Serie A.
Yes, I know.
Most of Hoyland's goal came in the Champions League, not the Premier League.
Okay. Well, let me now ask you this. If Nicholas Jackson was not a Chelsea, because we can't sell Jackson to Man United. But the kind of season Jackson had last season compared to Holland, Man United, if they are a serious club, they are not buying Jackson to come and displace Odilon because there's simply no difference. And Jackson scored more goals than Zeki last season. So what are we now talking about? If you want to compete, or if you want to at least make football, you have to get a striker out. Even the Zeki guy came to say it last week that he's not an out-and-out striker, that is between a 9 and a 10, a 9.5. The likes of, it's just more or less like a Gabriel Jesus or an Havertz kind of striker. They are not that kind of striker that would dominate the box.
Well,
And in the league, all you do, you have to have a striker that will dominate the box. Arsenal does not have that as well. That is the reason why I'm saying City will win the league. If Arsenal gets not even necessarily Osimhen, they can get Tony. If they get Tony, they will win the league. That is it. So
okay.
yeah.
Just to clarify this one and then we'll move on. That Zexi wasn't gotten for Man United to play the number 9 role. It was just Greenwood leaving, someone has to be in. Zexi is a winger for Man United, but he could be makeshift when we need that striking option. And with the Europa League and
Then Bruno played as a 9 against Man City, and he did decent.
he did decent, and that's because someone isn't there. But when the season starts proper,
And De Bruyne, I think De Bruyne will do it for Man City this season a few times.
a
Pep
few
has given
times,
that hint.
Pep will never give
Pep has
Guardiola
given the hint.
so much playing time. Who will see more doing those things are the Savinho, Foden. Anything more
No,
than
as in
that.
starting as a striker, not a false nine.
As a striker, De Bruyne cannot be a
Yeah,
striker.
he has given that hint.
He has
We'll
done that,
see.
but he won't do that.
We'll see. I don't know, but if you are very used to
You
football
can
and you
see
are used to
Pep uses Cesc Fabregas as a nine in Barcelona. Scored against Real Madrid in that match. He started
yeah,
as a nine, not as a four.
football
They
then
were
and
everywhere
football
was
now.
complete.
Football then and football now, to be honest, it's not the same. Plus, the league too in question should be considered. Premier League is not
Mm.
where, like, if you want to try something new, just accept that you are taking a big risk. You accept that if you lose, you are ready to take the blame. Uh, Pep
So,
hates to lose. He wouldn't do that.
so the problem is Premier League is stylishly turning to La Liga because the benchmark now seems to be Real Madrid. Pep Guardiola's gameplay. That's what Arsenal is modeling. That's what this Chelsea is modeling. That's what Aston Villa built Emery upon. That's what almost most teams are modeling, except for the ones that know that they are relegation bound. Those who Bolton 2003, 2004 pattern, box to box. The top teams, they are modeling against that tiki taka. And once they do that, they'll be playing to Pep's tactics. He'll be more comfortable deploying his several strings from his bow.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised seeing De Bruyne start as a nine if Haaland is injured. He can shoot, he can head, he can virtually everything Haaland will do, he will do, apart from being strong.
Okay. For my prediction for top four finish, I know you will call me biased, but I don't mind saying it that it's for me United first, City second, Arsenal third, Liverpool fourth.
Okay. Okay,
Why,
Man
why is everybody
United.
Uh,
saying Liverpool?
sorry,
So why
Man
is everybody
United
saying Liverpool
first.
making the top four?
you don't think
Liverpool,
Liverpool is
Liverpool
making
have
top?
a Liverpool didn't sell any player now. They didn't sell any major player apart from Thiago,
If you if they can
who
perform the
retired.
way if they can perform the way they've done in the preseason, I don't think the Premier with a new coach, I don't think going into this season the league will be a problem for them.
But
It will not
making
be a
top
problem.
four
They
is a
don't have a
very huge
problem,
task.
sincerely.
Making a top
So
four
I
is a
think
very
I
huge
think
task for manager. I
For a
don't see
new
them
for
I
a
making.
new
think
manager.
they maintain the
I
core. I think Liverpool maintain the core of the players they've had. So the players' understanding is one thing, and then if the coach can just have, you know, an IQ that is just above average, he doesn't have much work to do. It's not like Klopp went and then like 6, 7 players went away. They still maintain the same set of players.
Now,
So
you made one shocking prediction. I don't know. On a normal day, Moses, you will not put United in the top four. But for you to put United in that position, there must be something. I mean, something serious you've seen. Because talking about style of play, I think if you watched the FA Cup, I don't know if anyone is going to put United in this conversation come this season is probably what you must have seen apart from the signings. Also, maybe if you watched the game versus um, Man City in the Community Shield. But what was your reason, or what would have been your reason for selecting Man United in third place over your own football club?
so this is football. There's no sentiments. I don't have to like Man U to acknowledge if they do anything good. And I don't have to hate Chelsea to commend them if they've done anything good. So you see, if you keep dropping, if a drop of water keeps dropping on a surface, a particular surface, in little or no time, it will make a hole there. That's the power of consistency. And Manchester United they've shown us that they have that by keeping Ten Hag. Keeping Ten Hag for one more season, the same set of players, probably a few more additions. will give them the edge. That's why I put them in a shout for the top four comfortably. They still have their captain Bruno Fernandes. Their midfield Casemiro didn't go anywhere eventually. Casemiro looks younger every season, even though he wants to look like he's getting old. After a few games, the guy picks up. And then there is a Minu who is playing like a Clarence Seedorf of back in the days. Their attack, Rashford appears to be the only waiter there. Garnacho is still, you just mentioned the new signing there. Their defense divided, they seem like they will add the elite and
It's just been confirmed. It's just
Mazraoui.
been confirmed, including their jersey number. So they are in. Mazraoui and
Uh-huh.
because the lights, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the elite is an excellent addition to the team. Nazaruzi is an excellent addition, and for the kind of keeper that they have, for the kind of play they want to, Onana is just perfect. They want to start from the back. Now they have the elite, who is like a wall breaker. They have the Magaruzi, who is a decent ball carrying
Area.
defender too. So, I mean, they've been consistent with the coach. That's why I keep fighting Chelsea. In a long time, this is the time. This is like, I can't remember Manchester United being this consistent with the coach. Even though Mourinho spent 2 years, most of the 2 years, there were rumors about leaving or not leaving. Same thing for the other coaches. Ryan Giggs and Michael Carrick, those ones, they always seemed like it was a makeshift decision. But Ten Hag, yeah, there were rumors, there were no rumors, there were rumors he was going, he wasn't leaving. But 3 years, two titles, I mean, you can't beat that. They are consistent, so I give them top four easily.
Well, the Premier League begins on Friday with the same Manchester United kicking off 8 o'clock Nigerian time, UK time. Old Trafford live. Uh, Welcome back, everyone, to the new season, as I stated earlier, and this is where we'll come to the end of the session. Thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you by next weekend when we record another session. Good night,
All
everyone.
right.